This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is...
Welcome to a gorgeous sunrise here from African country. One, Masai Kenya is its own country, and two is Djuma, which is also not its own country, but is in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. I will be joined a little bit later by James Hendry on bushwalk there. Brent is currently racing to the bottom of the hill as we speak, hopefully safely. And I do sincerely apologize for the brief gremlin glitch. Hopefully it will tube. There we go. Below that is the Angama watering hole. Well, I think of it as the Angama watering hole. It is probably more accurately known as the Out of Africa watering hole. You can see all the balanites dotted throughout the Masai Mara, and that is how the Masai Mara got its name in the local Ma language. Another spectacular sunrise from the Masai Mara, one that promises to get better with time, much like cheese. And in fact, there was something slightly cheesy about the clouds, something equally cheesy about that line, but we'll go with it. Very pretty. I would say let's sit and listen to the sounds of the Mara while we watch the sunrise. Unfortunately, however, the sounds of the Mara morning. I was telling you why you can't listen to the sounds of the Masai Mara. That's because it doesn't stop blowing. So right now the wind is gently howling up the escarpment. Gently howling up the escarpment? Yes, we'll go with that. It is gentle for Mara standards. It's still howling by most standards. That is gorgeous. So where's the sun now? It's late. So while we wait for the sun to rise and while Manu and I get on our journey's way, let's go and join Brent, who is at the bottom of the hill. Trent. Never mind. Let's not go and join Trent. I need to do some of the Swahili tongue twisters this morning. I can't speak properly. Oh. There is the promise of the sun. Definitely getting lighter. Alright, Kirsty would like to hear one of the tongue twisters. There is a slight problem with that, in that I have to get it up on my phone because I haven't learned them off by heart yet. But I'll tell you something else I did this week. I ordered 150 kilograms of sugar instead of 30 for the week. My bad. I have to break that news to Steph shortly. Kale kukuku katogo kakaka kako wapi kaka. Where are your chickens, brother? Kale kakuku katogo kakaka kako wapi kaka. The other two I cannot do to save my life. Katibu kata wakata yang kata makata kata kata kukata miti katika kata yim kata. The chief of Mkata district has forbidden the cutting of trees in the Mkata district. Right, let's go and join Drent, hopefully, at the bottom of the hill.
Morning, morning, and welcome to the marvelous Masai Mara. My name is Brent Smith. I have Archie on camera, and it is just past 6:30 in the morning. And we're going to head down south towards where we had those lions last night and see what's happening in that area. But before we do, as so often happens, the Mara produces some of the most spectacular skies around. And this morning is no different, as the sun is starting to peak above the horizon. Well, it's already above the horizon, above the cloud bank to the east. And we have another absolutely gorgeous Mara morning. I'm quite thankful. Up on top of the hill, it was a howling gale this morning, but it seems to be quite peaceful down here on the Mara floor for now. It is truly, truly beautiful. Now let's go see if we can find some lions in the early morning light. Right. Wildebeest are all still down south on the freshly burnt areas, and the lions seem to be hanging about down there. The Olololo pride has moved from their traditional area about 10 kilometers to the south, to the edge of the migration, and that has caused much havoc for the Owinos and Sausage Tree pride, who we have not seen since that bigger Olololo pride moved into that area. So the lion dynamics, fascinating as always at the moment, with lots of movements. And as we drive through this top section of the triangle, you'll notice there's not much to eat up here, so it makes sense for the Olololos to move further down south. Our big resident herd of buffalo seems to have split into a couple of smaller herds and spread out, making them more difficult to find. Fortunately, still lots of lovely ellies up north, although I can't see any just yet. Remember, if you have any questions for us, hashtag SafariLive is the best way to get hold of us on Twitter. April, I'm not sure what happened to the lion males from yesterday morning. They disappeared. I went and looked for them yesterday afternoon, but had absolutely no luck. And then we found the females. Now, as I say, they're nomadic males. I don't think we've seen those boys before. We went and had a look through some of the older stuff of the young males we've seen. The male with the darker mane that was running away, we've seen him before. And he's from a pride, we're not sure their origins. So VM nicknamed them the Grass Pride. But we've seen that pride all the way from near the bridge to up against the escarpment, and they just seem to be avoiding all other prides and males, and that male now has left them. So very, very interesting. We think they might be part of the original sort of Egyptian goose pride, but we're not 100% sure. But the interesting thing is that one young male with the tip of his, well, most of his tail missing, looks relatively fresh. Not yesterday or today, but maybe within the last 10 days or so. Oh, beautiful. Anyone behind us, Arch? Just snake eagles sitting on top of a Balanites tree. A bit disheveled after a long night. As I said, the wind blew most of the night. It's just stopped now. Doesn't mean it's not going to start blowing again. Oh, do you look funny this morning? Definitely that bedhead look for the snake eagles this morning. And Kirsten says it looks like her when she wakes up. Somehow I don't believe that. Okay, let's keep maneuvering, seeing what else is around. This time of the morning in this area is always good for black rhino, as they're moving from where they might have been feeding overnight back towards the forested areas. So I always keep a lookout for the rhinoceri while we're here. Okay, well, I'm going to keep heading south. Let's go back to Jamie, who's just behind me.
I'm going to try and keep heading south. That's the plan. Oh, excuse me. I am racing in the direction of the Topi, since if you missed the sunrise and sunset safaris yesterday, they have all of a sudden decided to give birth, and I'm hoping to catch one of them in the act, as it were. Either way, I just want to go see more baby Topi. So essentially that's what I'm racing to do. Then we're going to go race to Waffles because she's moved dens to the perfect place. And Manu hasn't seen her cubs since forever. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Manu has not seen the little wafflets, so I've got to take him to see the wafflets. I've only got 4 days left here before I depart on leave, so it's quite essential, really. You know, Brent was talking about the time warp yesterday. When last was it James, Brent and myself on drive only? Been a long time. It's almost like going back in time to 2015. Quite excited. Oh. Okay.
This program features live coverage of an
and our sincerest apologies. It's just one of those things that happens. There's only so much control we have over certain variables, one of which is the internet, which for an internet-based company is making life a little tricky sometimes. But Conrad is working furiously at it from the Djuma side, Martin from the Mara side, and together I have no doubt they will eventually banish those gremlins completely in the middle of nowhere, but kinda. I mean, pretty far from fiber internet and all those sorts of things. So I took the opportunity, while you were away, to continue my race along a road known as River Road. The river's actually quite far away, but the idea is this is the biggest road close to the river, to take us to Topi Central to go and find some topples. But before we do that, there is a beautiful giraffe coming up, so we'll stop for him. Manu, sidelit or backlit? You want to try the backlit? Okay. Ooh, it's going to be pretty. Hello, big boy. Would you please stand still so that we can backlight you with our green screen lighting operator? No, no, no. That's not standing still. He wasn't very cooperative. He did allow us one brief backlit view. We have discussed in the past that silhouetted giraffe have a very sock puppet-like look. I mean, I know that James is really truly the professional when it comes to sock puppeteering. Beautiful old Maasai giraffe. I say old. He's not actually old. He's in his prime. You can see how thick the ossicones are on the top of his head and how well developed, which is particularly clear in Maasai giraffe. The ossicone at the front and the two at the back behind the main ones, or the main two, gives him a rather, I don't know how else to describe it other than knobbly. Gives him a rather knobbly look. They're beautiful though. They look like crackled paint or dried mud. Okay, we better go catch up with him. He's already given us the slip. I think the way he was staring off in that direction, I think he might have spotted some ladies that have caused him to be far more focused on his destination. I'm very aware of a new rattle in my car. I think it might be the spade coming loose. Ugh. Hello, my boy. Tina, for giraffe and in the wild, you're looking at around about 20 to 25 years as their lifespan. He just doesn't want us to get close to him, so I'm not going to push in any way. So 20 to 25 years, up to 30, possibly even more in captivity. I think I read somewhere about a giraffe living up to 40 years old, but that, of course, is in captivity. It's an artificial situation. What's there, boy? Saw something he might have been interested in. Changed his mind. So this gentleman here, I would put it over 10 years old. The only way to really accurately age him properly, unless you're a giraffe expert, is to look at his teeth and to have a look at the condition of how worn they are. Unfortunately, that's very difficult to do in the wild, so we can't do that unless we were to capture him or dart him, and we don't want to do that. I've said they live longer in captivity. I've got Something's ringing alarm bells in the back of my mind. I actually don't think giraffe do well in captivity at all. I believe that various zoos and so on have really struggled to keep giraffe alive. There's something about that artificial situation that they don't flourish. I don't think actually their life expectancy is that much longer in captivity than it is in the wild. Long, beautiful legs. I always marvel at the fact that they don't fall over. Obviously they don't, because this is how they're constructed and they grow learning how to not fall over. But I know when we drive round these areas just how many holes there are. Somehow they've mastered walking on stilts and running on stilts, essentially. Watch as he walks. You'll see both legs from the same side move at the same time. You won't see that in very many other animals. If you watch a leopard or a lion or an antelope, it will be the opposite one, so the front left and the back right will move at the same time. Not both from the same side. So you can imagine how he's transferring his weight as he steps and walk. Where are those ladies, boy? Definitely ladies somewhere in there. He was interested. Or maybe he just saw a tree that he really, really wants to eat. Okay. I know he's beautiful, but we have Topi to find. We're not too far away now. So, forgive me, but he's wandered off, so we're going to let him continue to do so. And we're going to go find a Toby. Trying to find a spot on this road that's not too corrugated. I'm not winning. I'll be there soon, I promise. So while I race down River Road, Brent is also racing on another road. I don't know where he's racing to, though.
Welcome back. While we're still moving south, it's quite understandable why the Olololo Pride has moved. I mean, we haven't even seen an impala, a topi, a tommy, and we've done about another 5 kilometers since you were last with us. We haven't even seen an elephant. So it's not to say there isn't stuff in the long grass here. There's probably warthog and the odd dick, lots of rodent life, but very, very few large mammals. And for a big pride like the Lololos that needs a feed, even one wildebeest is not going to be enough for that whole pride. They need 2 or 3 wildebeests every time they feed. The move down to the edge of the migration was sort of their only option left. However, as I said, it's put a lot of pressure on the other prides that were already in this area. We've got probably a 45-minute to an hour drive, hour and a half sometimes, depending on where the migration is, to get down to where a lot of the big cats are. Oh. What are you doing, Kukul? Trying to run in front of the road. White-browed Kukul. There we go, white-browed Kukul. And you can see the wind starting to pick up. Kukul's going to crawl down into the undergrowth where it feels a bit safer. And we're going to keep not so crawling home. I mean, south, not home. Well, to the home of the lions at the moment. And we're getting quite close now to the area where but apparently we can go say good morning to James the Gremlin Henry walking.
morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bushwalk. We are just unpacking an astonishing scene that took place here at the Djuma Dam Pan yesterday evening. My name is James Hendry. David is on camera, and we have got Herberto, aka CSI, doing a little bit of investigation this morning. And basically what happened was, in case you missed it, Hosanna was lurking behind this little bush over here. A duiker came wandering up to have a drink. At which point Hosanna went like this. Wah! And they chased each other around here. And then they ran under the dam cam, so the dam cam could no longer see them. And it would appear that the duiker escaped. Here there was running. You can see this hole over here. And we're just going to see if there are any signs of blood, fur. But I think the duiker escaped. Yes, here it ran. What you're looking for here is the deep indentation and the pushing of sand backwards. That indicates running. And Bianca, you say that was poor acting. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I will attempt to do better on my next reenactment of a hunting scene. Quite a lot of abuse coming my way on Twitter these days. Anyway, that's just how it goes, I suppose. Right, so what we then have is tracks of Hosanna walking up past the camp. And so what we're going to do is go around the other side and see if we can't find him there, because there have been some alarm-calling nyalas in this riverbed that is in front of Vuyatela Lodge. That's our plan this morning. You're welcome to join us on this plan. Please talk to us, of course, using the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter, and you can use the chat stream on YouTube. And I'm going to ask you today, I normally say send your questions, comments, insults and jokes. If you could keep the insults to a minimum, I think that encouragement has inspired a couple of you to send through your deepest disregard for me. Some of you want a sock puppet version of the Hosanna and duiker interaction. I don't think we're going to do that just yet, on account of the fact that, well, my feet have only just got into the socks. You need the socks to be nice and loose, perhaps a little bit moist, and then the sock puppet works best. Let's also see, perhaps, if we can find Scoot, the little blacksmith lapwing. Many of you asking if Thandi found Tlalamba. I'm afraid we don't know at this stage. There are 2 or 3 vehicles going out from Djuma and Vuyatela. They will go and have a look there. I'm really sure that everything is fine down there. And then if we don't find anything here, we'll go down that way. Well, we'll probably go down that way anyway. A number of you saying very nice things about me. Thank you. My eyes are filling with tears now. Thank you. Very fragile egos, and these presenters. Very. Especially me. Now, these 2 blacksmith lapwings, in case you don't know, have begat a small baby lapwing, which apparently we named it Scoot the other day, or you did, but apparently some of the Zoomies had already named Gilbert. I'm going to let you guys argue out whether it's called Scoot or Gilbert. I quite like Gilbert as well. We might have to come up with a hybrid of the 2. But I haven't seen Gilbert for a little while, and the parents are normally an indicator as to where the little one is. They'll normally dive bomb you if you get a bit close. Now, Gilbert at this stage, or Scoot, would go completely still, and you could walk almost completely past him or her without being seen. Sure. Must be around here somewhere. I don't want to stress that. Very nice. Hyenas calling. Another duiker lives to see the day, and we're going to continue up this riverbed and see if we can't get very lucky and find Hosanna the male leopard. Abraham, you say a nice mixture of the two names would be Screwbert. Screwbert, Scoobert, yes. Scoobert, I think, would be quite a nice name, actually. Scoobert. So it shall be. Scoobert, until I hear otherwise. Scoobert. Or Gilloot. No, I think Scoobert is better. April, I'm afraid. You say Gilloot. I think Scoobert is probably slightly better. It's another gorgeous morning. It is going to be a beastly hot day, though. It will probably be a little bit cooler, however, in the Masai Mara, where the pied kingfisher that Jamie is currently looking at lives. I think probably a bit wetter as well.
This is so epic what Manu has managed to do. We saw it hovering, and we tried to do the same thing that we tried with the giraffe, and of course immediately it dove into the water and then disappeared. But somehow, magically, Manu has managed to stay with it, and it's just such a stunning image. Against the morning sky, Manu, there's someone coming behind us. I can hear them. This is so epic, though. Look at the speed of its wing beats as it keeps itself or holds itself aloft, hovering in one place, searching for fishes to dive down and catch. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, they've got space. They can make it work. Manu, that is so beautiful. I have gone temporarily hard of hearing. I do not aware that there is a truck behind me. I have not noticed it. Morning, morning. Sorry about that. Thanks. Hi, guys. Morning. Oh, Manu. Bravo. Bravo. So, Manu, when we are not live, is positively, what is the word? He's always busy with the camera. The camera is never settled or locked off in one place. This is epic. Well done. He is constantly moving, looking for things, and often practicing on birds. Oh, Manu. It was not obliging, but you tried. You gave it your absolute best efforts. Well done, Manu. Manu practices on birds all the time. He's constantly doing something. And it's been really helpful when we've been looking for hyenas, because we'll be sitting at Waffles' den or sitting at a kill or whatever. And Manu is constantly looking, spotting other hyenas coming in from far away. Blue smoky bird? Blue smoky... No, I think I've mixed up my words there. Blue smoky bars? Oh, blue smoky bar. Blue smoky bar says that it looks like a hummingbird. It's a sort of similar style of hovering. Obviously, we don't get hummingbirds. Our closest birds would be a sunbird. But yes, the idea is essentially the same. Very rapid wing beats, not as fast as a hummingbird, and not as still as a hummingbird, to keep it in one place. So yes, absolutely, that's what it looks like. I'm going to keep looking, just in case we can give Manu another opportunity to essentially show off. And so he should. Okay, as incredibly productive as we have been this morning, trundling down River Road, Brent has been hot on the heels. Well, anyway, he's found himself a lion.
Oh, here we are. It looks like the same two lionesses we were following last night from the Olololo Pride. Difficult to see whether they've managed to eat overnight, but there is some food close by. We are now right down in the zone of the wildebeests, well, some of them at least. And they are not too far off. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I think we're going to have to put our patience pants on again and stick it out with the lions. And as I say, I don't want to drive too close to them, and maybe the lions or the wildebeest will start looking at me. So I'm just stopped a little bit behind them, and so I can't see whether they've eaten yet or not. But it is migration time, so it means that they might just kill for the sake of killing while stuff's around. I mean, you can see she's starting to crouch a little bit. Well, not really, but the wildebeest don't seem to have seen her, and they are slowly moving in this direction. But these girls have maybe they did manage to munch on a wildy last night. We're actually quite close to the happy zebra hyena. If I'm correct, it's beneath that tree there, just off to the right, that one there. Kathy is asking, what are those cool trees again? Kathy, these are Balanites trees. Balanite aegyptica, so related to the morgamai that we get in the Sabi Sands, but a different species. And as I say, I'm pretty sure the happy zebra hyena dens are right here. I wonder where the rest of the pride are. I think it looks like the two auroras from last night. Wildy's slowly feeding and moving. Okay, well, we're going to put our patient pants on and we're going to sit